Hello and welcome back to my world. Last episode we finished this lovely looking room and decided that it's gonna be our villager trading hall. So in this episode we're gonna begin on making first of all a small breeder under our iron farm, and then we're gonna think about of how we're gonna transport the villagers inside the trading hall. Oh, hello, creeper. Well, all in all, I believe this path in the sky is rather ugly, so we better come up with something more practical and more good looking. And also, I was thinking something in the lines of automatic, well, semi-automatic village sorter, sort of. So the villager comes in and we can decide how we're gonna move him. It might be weird to understand what I'm doing here, but I guess a lot of you might get it. It's hard to see what's this because of the glass. Well, it doesn't have any bottom yet, but the idea is I'm gonna put two villagers inside. They're gonna be standing on the pole. Their head's gonna be above the ground. And the idea is that I'm gonna leave a farmer, well, brown coat villager on top of there. He's gonna be running around collecting all the carrots, and he's gonna be throwing the carrots to the villagers here, and the villagers here will get their food and trading benefits, and when they're gonna produce offsprings, those offsprings gonna drop inside here. Now the thing is, I want to keep two villagers on each side, so it's gonna be 8, and I'm gonna leave two brown coats on top. I'm gonna block their paths so they don't interact with each other, but each gonna fit one of the chambers here. And the idea is that because the maximum amount of villagers in here is 13, they're gonna keep producing villagers constantly. Hopefully that will work. That worked in the past. Let's continue doing these chambers and possibly start putting some villagers in and see how it goes. I already made 2 of those, and I came to this side and realized we have still the elevator, which we are not using it anymore. If I want to get in, I'm using the stairs here anyway. So I'm gonna tear down the elevator and recover our precious glass and make the chamber on its spot. And before few of you question how I recover glass, yes, I got a silk touch on this axe, so when I break glass I actually recover it back, which is really lovely. This is a lovely example of how he was just feeding them. Missed it by a second with the camera, but he was already feeding them. Now that our villagers are being bred and fed, as you can see, they are already producing some offsprings. We must think of how we're gonna unite these chambers and guide them inside our villager trading hall. I'm thinking of uniting them into one and possibly sending them rather underground, or at least a glass path that I can see that they are going through. You can see they're breeding in there. There are lots of hearts because there are only 10 villagers up there. Hopefully I didn't break the iron farm. I haven't seen any iron golems, but I left 2 of the brown coats upstairs. If need be, we can multiply them to get to 11 or 12 and see if that's gonna work. The reason I've put them chambers on each side is that the villagers can spot the doors, so they actually keep the village alive. They can constantly see the doors on each side, and hopefully the iron farm is still functioning in comparison to... Yep, there we go, iron golem. So iron farm is still functioning. We have villagers being bred, and they kinda just drop off now. Hello, little guy. So we're gonna continue another one. Okay, so we're gonna continue with the trenches of guiding the villagers in the hall. Let's see. Well, this is almost full of iron. Yeah, a bunch of poppies here because I don't let them drop. Actually, this can actually fill up and not let our iron drop in. This guy wants to follow me, so yeah, I'll think of something and catch up with you in a bit. A little bit of progress update. As you can see, this is some form of villager sorter, but so far we are full of monsters in there. A lot of creepers, which if I start getting closer, they're gonna explode and destroy everything. So I'll just wait it out until they despawn before I do any work. The village transportation system is somehow working. We are getting the villagers into our sorter mechanism down there. Hopefully it's working. Let me get down there and I'm gonna check. So this is our sorting mechanism. Hopefully when the villagers are packed in there, the cart is gonna pick them up and drop them in one of those so we can trade and see what they have. Let's see, this is a squeezing mechanism, so it goes them into the corner so the cart can pick them up and they are in the spot. So when they are on the pressure plate, the activation rail is getting disabled and minecart is no longer wobbling near that spot, so it can drop the next villager on the next part. Let's see. Well, this one is a precious one. I already checked and he has a silk touch poke, so this is very fascinating. So what we have here now is basically I have separated this in a couple of rooms. Well, nothing here yet, just the rails so they can get here. And what we do now, we get the minecart and hopefully by dropping it here picks him up. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, because he's not standing on the edge. I'll have to do something with pistons, but the problem is I realized how little slime balls I have, so I cannot make a lot of sticky pistons, unfortunately. I think our next project is gonna be slime farm, and I think I've used all my gold on these power rails, so I think I'm gonna make an overworld gold farm as well. Can we hit him? Yeah, we can hit him at least. Well, I have to pick up the minecart and I'm gonna attempt to bring him over again. Let's see, now he's on the edge. Now it picks him up and he transports him inside the safe room, and I'll have to think of how I'm gonna arrange them all here. I was thinking of rows of villagers sorted, so a row of librarians, a row of weaponsmith, toolsmiths, and clerics, and so on and so on. So this is gonna take a while. Bear with me. And this is our lovely stream that the villagers are taking into the sorting system. And it goes... Hello zombies. Oh, we're now on fire. So it goes on like this until here, until the drop point. The drop point collects all of them. Unfortunately, it's still very unfinished. It has a lot of open space on top. I meant to close it up properly, but I'm very short on glass, and our farms aren't producing enough resources for trading with villagers yet. But so far things are working out. We should be able to transport newborns. The newborns are gonna be transferring right away because there are no air spots anywhere. The first air spot is actually here, so the small ones are gonna be stopping here until they grow up, and once they grow up they're gonna be going further. Well, there is a possibility that grown-ups will be pushing the small ones, but in the end of this tunnel water stream there's still gonna be a mob elevator, and even if the small ones are gonna make it down there, they won't be able to swim up, so we will only be having grown-ups in the sorting chambers down here. So for now I'm gonna continue farming glass, covering it all up, and in the meantime, while I'm doing it, this should be producing us some villagers. Well, this one we dropped off from before, haven't upgraded him to anything yet, so I don't know if he's valuable or not. Oh well, he's gonna keep me company while I'm gonna be finishing stuff. It might also worth noting that I actually pushed a glass into the villagers from outside using a piston, so that when you drop a carrot it doesn't drop through them and actually remains above their heads, so they can collect it, so it doesn't drop through the void. Our villagers are trying to trade, I presume. The thing is, if the carrots are dropping down and the stream, they follow the stream, they gonna end up in the water stream, and the new farm, the new brown coats that we're gonna be getting, they're gonna be collecting the carrots, and unfortunately we do not want that, simply because we want our brown coats able to farm not just carrots but multiple crops. While we're waiting for some sugarcane to come around for the trading for glass, I decided to start planning some of our villager trading halls here. So this looks very symmetrical and nice, but unfortunately I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm gonna be doing this. It's still the same, but I had to leave 3 blocks in the middle. It's not symmetrical, and here we have only half of it. The reason is that I'm planning to be placing a separator in the middle. The villagers on the cars gonna go here, and a block that's gonna be blocking their escape from the cars gonna be here. And then I potentially want the ability to place signs in front of them, so I do need this block and this one, and the rail won't be able to have rails permanently if I do this with 2 blocks. If I place sign here and sign here, I don't have any space for the rail. So this is how we're gonna be doing it, and these are just the preparations for how we're gonna be leaving our villagers. So it's gonna be I had to place the rails like that, so if I just gonna be laying the rails straight, they're gonna make a straight line. I don't want that. I want them to be like this. So I had to rail the ovals like this, and now when I break the rails, the spare rails here, those gonna remain straight, and I can put the villagers here, and they won't be going right and left. There's gonna be a block here like this, and then I'm gonna be placing a slab. I don't know, maybe the birch slab as well, slab like this, so they're gonna be blocked in, and a sign on top of it probably saying what do they have, what they don't have, and so on and so on. So this is how I plan to make this room all around here. So we already have a bunch of villagers ready here. Oh, it's raining outside. Interesting. I have a lot of villagers here already as well, and these are all waiting to be sorted. So I'm gonna be slowly start doing the sortings and all of this, and in parallel, while I'm sorting the villages that we have, I'm gonna be spending a lot of time under the iron farm / breeder, because I'm planning to start making the overworld gold farm and the slime farm as well. And in order to make the slime farm, I need to be on levels 0 to 40, so I have to do the slime farm there. And in between the slime farm and the iron farm, I'm gonna be doing a huge gold farm as well. So slowly, stage by stage, I'm gonna be doing this in slow steps, working in multiple projects at the same time, and hopefully it's gonna come out as we plan it. This is gonna be our last villager to sort for now. As you can see, it involves some manual labor into actually bringing him on the rails and placing a slab like that so he doesn't escape. So as you can see, well, oh, you have one more. Oh well. I labeled who is what. I also placed a lot of light. You can never go wrong with lights, especially since we don't want anything to spawn here and break everything. These are the librarians. I actually devoted 2 rows for librarians because of all the different possible enchants that I'm trying to get. Just 1 toolsmith for now, 2 weaponsmiths, armorers, and these are miscellaneous. So these 3 are actually farmers. These 2 are butchers, and this one is a leather worker, and this one is a shepherd. I haven't sorted anything else. Not sure if I need anything else from those. As you can see, the cart is running empty, but if I come here and push this villager to the edge, the cart's gonna pick him up. Oh, there's another one, 2 of them. Alright, so that one is getting knocked off here. Oh, he's out of place again. Yeah, when this is emptying, it's really hard to get them out, so this picks up and puts him in the second place. The reason that is that how the rails are happening. There is how do you call it, a detection rail, detection, activator rail, right. Activator rail, when it's powered, as it's here, it nudges the cart, but when it's not powered, it doesn't nudge. So the villager is standing on an iron plate, which disables the activator rail by a torch, which is below this block here. And this is how they're getting sorted into cells, so I can pick them up. But the other manual thing I have to constantly do is nudge them a bit so they can get on the edge. And this brings us back to the necessity of pistons, sticky pistons, so they can be placed here, push the glass in and out, so the villagers get on the edge. Now that we are almost done sorting the villagers, we're gonna move down to under the breeder and start digging ourselves down for the 2 farms I mentioned before, slime and gold farms. This one is actually cartographer. Well, we don't need him. We don't need him. This is clearly a cleric. They cannot be anything else. So we are progressing nicely. Well, I haven't really the villagers that we had in a temporary room. Oh, hello Enderman. Stop taking my blocks. The villagers which we are all here, I haven't moved them, so I might actually want to move all of these at some point. We have more farmers here and bunch of toolsmiths and weaponsmiths, so we need to move these as well. This is a butcher. Nicely. So we are getting pretty nicely stocked on villagers, which is really nice. I'm not sure if I wanna make a way in the middle here so I can pass through, but that's gonna take the spaces from the villagers. I did that on the other side simply because I need the exit here. That's why it's separated. But if we need more space for villagers, we'll think of something. Probably expand to one more. Expand this room even more. We'll see. I doubt we're gonna need so many space. Maybe I'll make a divisions here for other villagers, since I'm not sure we need so many toolsmiths and weaponsmiths and armorsmiths. We'll see if I'm gonna finish all the lanes here. It's a work for the future. But the librarians, they surely gonna go all the way here because of the many possible enchants, books and stuff we can get. But I think for now I'm gonna start moving to digging, getting kind of dizzy of sorting these villagers out. As I said, it's semi-automatic. And we are done with all the villagers. This room is actually looks empty now, just a bunch of chests left. This just random unsorted junk, our pet, and everyone else is inside the main trading hall. So I had some rails going this way into the room, and I sorted them out using rails. As you can see, this is all our clerics, and this guy is a cartographer. And the reason I just kept one and he's alone here is because the legend says if you level up the cartographer, he's gonna offer you a map to the nearest stronghold or water temple. So the moment we level him up, he's gonna start giving us maps, and ideally the maps he's gonna give is to the closest temples and water temples and stuff. So these are our librarians here. We just have 8 of them. A bunch of weaponsmiths, which I haven't leveled these guys yet. I just transport. These are the old ones which we had from before. Our toolsmith situation looks rather boring. The only thing we have here is a breaking 2, efficiency 2 and breaking 2, and this one is even efficiency 1 and breaking 1. This is all so sad. Yeah, I ran out of blocks. These ones are the farmers. These are actually 2 of the tainted farmers because they have carrots on them. These ones are free of their inventory, should be free, at least I hope so. 3 butchers, and these guys are already set. So this one is full of chicken for trade. I actually manually brought everything. This is gonna be carrots, this is gonna be wheat, and this is gonna be potatoes. I hope to put some automation so we have the farms on that side for carrots, wheat, and potatoes, and those gonna be automatically dropped inside here. We'll see. Time will tell. Only time will tell. So we have everything is empty there. I actually put the anvil and the working bench here, some chests for working with the villagers here. Already have a lot of almost 1.5 stack of emeralds. So this is all progressing nicely. But I think this is all I've got time for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you wanna see more, and until next time, bye bye.